Woman choked, knocked unconscious, and left with a fractured skull inside her workplace.
Enough of it. People are getting hurt.
The reason community advocates say the man accused should have never been on the streets.
And bullied to the point of resigning. Why Gallatin City Councilwoman says she had no other choice, and why the man accused of bullying her says her claim is bogus. Fox 17 News at 9 starts now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
Enough of it. People are getting hurt. People are getting killed by reoffenders.
We begin tonight with Operation Crime and Justice and more complaints about violent offenders who make bond only to commit more crimes.
Well, last week, a man free on bond for domestic violence was arrested again for beating a woman, setting her house on fire, and stealing her car. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller joining us live from the state capitol tonight after speaking with state leaders about the low bond issue here. Caitlin.
Yes, well, we spoke with State Representative Vincent Dickson, who says that we need both criminal justice reform and bail reform in order to keep law-abiding people safe.
Harday Gooch was arrested last week for a robbery at a clothing store in South Nashville. Police confirm he was free on bond for domestic violence arrests. Gooch was also arrested in May for violating an order of protection. His record includes an aggravated robbery conviction in 2016.
Enough of it. People are getting hurt. People are getting killed by reoffenders, low bonds, and it is not a deterrent.
Community advocate Lou Wilbanks is disappointed but not surprised. She says public safety has to become the top priority.
Bond reform is important, and we need the technology to access any prior convictions, assess the chance of if they do make bond, are they going to hurt someone?
The Metro District Attorney's Office says they filed the charges, but judges and magistrates set bond. State Representative Vincent Dickson weighs in on this most recent violent robbery.
I truly believe this was an opportunity that magistrates or the commissioners could use their influence to make sure, based on his history, that they have set the appropriate bond going forward.
Dickson, who's also a bondsman, says judges should consider the history of a suspect like Gooch, especially his recent violent history. Dickson believes that should be a part of any reform.
And a handful of new laws go into effect July 1st that do address this low bond issue. And one of those of which is if you are deemed incompetent, those people are required to get inpatient care. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Caitlin, thank you. Of course, we've done a series of stories on people just like this who commit violent crimes while they are free on bond. To see our previous reporting and more on the new law set to go into effect, go to our website, fox17.com, and search lower bond.
It hurts a lot of us to see, a good person treated so poorly. It's sad and not who our community is.
Continuing coverage on the resignation of a Gallatin council member over bullying claims. The fellow council member says that she says that this man is responsible, although he says he didn't do it. And tonight the mayor is backing that original claim. So a lot of back and forth here. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker has more from Gallatin after digging into those allegations.
Certainly a heated debate between the two council members here in Gallatin. While Eileen George claims that she's been profusely bullied, Pascal Javant says those claims are bogus.
This photo here, posted in July of 2022, shows what looks to be a good working relationship between Gallatin council members Eileen George and Pascal Javant. But at some point, things turned sour.
Councilman Javant, his wife, and his supporters have harassed, bullied, and abused me with nasty commentary. This has occurred through social media posts, text messages, voicemails, and even physical confrontations.
Councilmember George says these confrontations forced her to step down.
These claims are bogus, and if she has any proof, because she says she has voicemail, text messaging, phone call, emails, if she has any proof of that, please bring it and show me where I bullied her.
Councilmember Joe Vance sitting down with Fox 17 News responding to these allegations. He says he's even exploring legal options.
You can't accuse people like she did without consequences.
We reached out to Councilmember George via email to ask if she would sit down with us as well and what proof she had to back up these allegations, but she did not reply.
I don't believe Councilwoman George's claims are untrue. I've witnessed some of it myself, and I've seen evidence of other poor actions.
Gallatin Mayor Paige Brown says she believes George's story.
I feel bad that I did not make a case and stand more strongly in her defense.
And now a seat remains empty on council. Brown says George's seat is up for election in November, but the council will likely appoint someone to fill that seat in the interim in the coming weeks.
So, of course, this means that Eileen's constituents will go unrepresented for the next several weeks. This is something that we will continue to watch, and we'll let you guys know any updates as they become available. For now, reporting in Gallatin, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, let's talk about the weather. The streets of downtown fairly empty today. We don't have the fanfare folks yet, but we did have a mixed bag of weather that we're hoping they will be able to avoid.
Yeah, and we'll continue to see some of these showers around through the evening. Radar's actually lighting up a little bit for some of us for tonight. But the good news is, as we head more into CMA Fest territory, at least for Thursday and Friday, things are looking okay. I have had to make some changes for the weekend, which we will discuss. Live look from our South Nashville camera. Again, a pretty quiet night for us in town at the moment, but you can see on the radar that we are starting to see some showers and a few rumbles of thunder out there. So we'll find the potential for some rain as we go through the evening hours. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for the southern portions of Lincoln County, and that'll go until 9:30. We were watching a pretty potent line earlier, a couple hours ago. This whole line was severe warned throughout portions of Alabama. And the good news is, as it moves more into Tennessee, it looks like it is starting to weaken. But we'll find some showers, some rumbles of thunder moving through Giles County, and the potential for some gusts of wind up to about 40 miles per hour with some of these storms. Putting a quick track on it here, you can see it'll be moving into the Fayetteville area within 5 minutes or so, Howell in 5 minutes, and Huntland in about 6 minutes from now. So we'll be looking at some decent rain out of these storms. Again, gusts of wind 30 to 40 miles per hour. Most of these will be below severe limits as they continue to push more into Tennessee. And these showers out here are not expected to become severe. As we go through the overnight, showers will clear. We're looking again dry downtown, but very mild outside, sitting in the upper 70s to low 80s. Future track does bring in more of these showers here as we go through the overnight and into tomorrow morning. It does begin to clear out. Thursday is looking great. Friday is looking pretty wonderful as well. But I have had to update our forecast for the weekend, which includes now a few rain chances. We'll talk about when the most likely time period is for rain for Saturday and Sunday. That's coming up. Scott.
Katie, thank you. Up next, some sound advice.org.
In the economy tonight, as a new crop of grads leave college, the struggles of student loan debt can really take center stage. And new research finds that the struggles are not limited to Americans in their 20s. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino has helpful insight for borrowers of all ages.
Student loan debt is typically viewed as an issue facing younger Americans, but a new analysis shows a burden on some Americans as old as over the age of 55 that could clash with their retirement security.
It's not what you usually think, that they took out student debt for their children. It's actually for themselves.
Student loans have often been described as good debt, with borrowers taking on loans in the hopes of higher education boosting income over time. But a new research report by the Schwartz Center for Economic Policy Analysis at the New School finds more than 2.2 million Americans over the age of 55 carrying student loan debt. Teresa Ghilarducci is a professor of economics at the New School and specializes in retirement and older worker issues.
It's only good debt for the young, and it's only good debt if it's a low amount of debt.
Older borrowers tend to see income narrow at retirement age and are more likely to carry other debts like mortgages and car loans than younger workers. Karthik Manikam is the author of the New School Report and says this can lead to tough choices.
It's likely to affect their retirement ability because they have to either sort of decide between extending their working life and continue to work to repay their debt, or reduce the amount of retirement savings that they may be able to save.
Another potential consequence that could diminish retirement age, Manikam says delinquent federal student loans can result in garnishment of Social Security benefits. Kelly Avellino, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
In politics tonight, a Wall Street Journal report calling President Biden's mental fitness into question. As Fox 17 News' Matt Galka reports, the issue could weigh heavily on the minds of voters come November. And we want to know what you think. You can let us know by scanning the QR code that will appear on your screen during the story.
President Joe Biden is slipping behind closed doors, relying heavily on note cards during high-level meetings, and waffling between a man with command of the room to someone who has trouble with details. That's the focus of a damaging Wall Street Journal article citing interviews with 45 people over several months, characterized as mostly being critical Republicans, but also some Democrats. Republicans have tried to use Biden's age against him to cast him as a man unfit for office.
He is obviously mentally declining and physically declining. He's an 81-year-old man. I mean, I get that. It's sad to see that in any human being. But this is the President of the United States, and he refuses to acknowledge it.
The White House called some of the accounts in the article false claims, with other Democrats saying it was a hit piece. Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy went on record saying the president was not the same person he was when he served as vice president. California Democrat Jim Costa met with Biden this week and said he was sharp. He says McCarthy's comments are different than what he said in the past.
He, time after time, commented upon how on top of the game the president was in negotiating these difficult issues. Now to say something else, is, I think, more of the problems that Kevin McCarthy had in terms of maintaining his credibility with his own conference that later resulted in his downfall.
Biden's supporters, including his wife, are quick to point out Donald Trump isn't much younger than the current president.
Donald Trump's going to be, what, 78?
78, yeah.
And Joe's 81. They're basically the same age.
Right.
So, but it's about character. This election is about character.
Multiple polls show that voters have a significant concern about President Biden's age. He'd be 86 at the end of a potential second term. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Galka.
During that story, we had a QR code up linking you to our poll asking just how concerned you are about President Biden's mental fitness. Quite a few people weighing in, 971, and 83.1%, an overwhelming majority, say they are very concerned. If you would like to weigh in further, continue to watch as we have other questions like this, I'm certain, leading up to the election.
Of course, ramping up for CMA Fest. It's on everyone's minds. We had showers this morning. There's storms brewing south of us. We're just like playing Frogger over here.
Yeah. The good news is going into tomorrow, we're going to be clearing out, and Friday's looking good too.
Clearing out
the
what?
First 2 days.
Yes.
No, I'm like, what do you mean by that? Clearing out?
Yeah.
Okay.
We get a brief break, but it does look like we've got at least some chances for rain going into the weekend. It's not going to be a washout, but we will have
That'll happen. It is summer. You know.
That's true. We start off with a look at our weather headlines for tonight. Again, we are drying out as we head into the overnight hours. We've got some showers on the radar for now. I'd say that'll be around for another 3 or 4 hours, and then we're looking at things to be improving heading into Thursday morning. Overall, a nice Thursday and Friday ahead with temperatures in the upper 80s for tomorrow under a mainly sunny sky and looking at sunshine and low 80s in store for us on Friday. So a couple of great days ahead. We are looking, though, at a little bit of a forecast change as we head into the weekend. So we take a look here at the forecast for the CMA Fest. Again, a stray shower chance east for tomorrow. Here in town should be dry. Highs will be in the low 80s on Friday. I have had to introduce a rain chance for Saturday and Sunday. It looks like the majority of our rain chances will be overnight into early Sunday morning. However, I do think that we are going to be looking at a few pop-ups during the day on Saturday. So of the 4 days for CMA Fest, I would say Saturday right now looks to be the best for any day showers. And then into the evening hours, if there were a night at Nissan Stadium that we could be potentially impacted, it would probably be Saturday evening's concert. But Sunday we'll have a better chance for rain in the morning and then should clear from there. So this, hopefully we'll be able to get rid of this here. But for now, I'm going to leave a small chance of rain in by the afternoon hours, but looks like the majority of rain should clear by the morning on Sunday. So we check out your forecast. This is as we head through tomorrow morning. This is midday, right around 10. Notice that there are a few showers east of town toward the plateau. That's going to be where they stay for the day on Thursday. Otherwise, a mainly sunny sky and should end up with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Friday, mainly clear skies, and that'll be the stories we head through the afternoon. But our eyes will be focused on this next little batch of rain coming in from the west Saturday morning, coming out of the boot heel of Missouri, and will impact us as we head into the afternoon for Saturday and then Saturday night. So we will be watching that closely. As far as tonight goes, showers and storms are around. They will be early, mainly after midnight. We'll start to see things quiet down. Temperatures stay pretty mild in those upper 60s to low 70s. We're up to about 88 for tomorrow as we dry out throughout the afternoon. We'll walk you through a closer timing for Saturday and Sunday's forecast if you have plans this weekend. We'll have a look at where those showers could be. That's coming up a little later.
Katie, thank you. Just ahead, yes, Chef, the local culinary aficionado, doing battle on the hit Fox show Master Chef Generations.
Lawmakers in one state are working to fight
In entertainment news tonight, Nashville-based chef Horacio Tucunduva competing on the hit Fox show Master Chef Generations.
Well, the 14th season is underway, and tonight it was the baby boomer auditions. Horacio joining us live to talk about tonight's episode. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Hello, Scott. Hello, Megan. Nice to be here with you guys.
Now, tell us about the show tonight. I understand, obviously, it's a baby boomer thing, so guys, you know, like our age are out there doing their thing. What was the toughest challenge for you? Because you're sort of auditioning to, you know, get on.
It is a tough challenge. I'm going to tell you something. All the generations are very competitive, but I think the baby boomers has the edge and the advantage, the experience, the knowledge, and we can take a calm in a difficult moment. So I'm very, very excited to be part of the show. And I think this show is going to be the biggest and the most exciting one ever.
I hope.
Well, Horacio, what did you think about Chef Gordon Ramsay? He's taken on a lot of different personalities, from Hell's Kitchen to Next Level Chef. What did you think about him?
I think he is a friend. I think he is a guy who, besides being multiple personality, he's a human, and he showed that to me during the show, and I'm grateful for that.
Oh, that's so fun to hear. You know, because obviously there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that you know, we at home don't get to see. Listen, I saw you using your spices. Tell me what your specialty is and what you're hoping, you know, to bring in all the dishes. You've got to bring a little bit of you in there. What is that?
I'm originally from Brazil. Brazilian food is very colorful, very happy. It looks like a carnival in the plate. And I think that background brings a lot of energy and a lot of excitement in the kitchen. And this is what I'm expressing in the show during the audition today. And if I succeed to go next, I will try to show more and more about that excitement with my background from Brazil.
So, Horacio, what was your game plan going into this? Did you have a strategy to beat out the other competitors?
Just be myself, enjoy, have fun, and cook with the heart. And that's exactly what I did. I am a passionate man, and I put that passion in the stove.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, listen, I know you're also a family man. You're out in L.A. right now because you're about to become a grandfather again, but you still got relatives back here in Nashville who I know just watched the show here on Fox 17.
Correct. I mean, my daughter, my grandson are in Nashville. I am from Nashville. I consider myself a Nashvillian. Temporarily in Los Angeles because the granddaughter is on the way and we are in standby. So we are blessed to be here in Los Angeles, and we will go back to Nashville as soon as the baby is stabilized, become older, and we can enjoy the the family again all together.
All right, grandfather duties coming first, of course.
Exciting.
No one can fault you there. Well, we are rooting you on, Horatio. We can't wait to chat with you after the next episode.
Oh, if I pass, please call me. I'm going to be here for you guys.
I love it. Thanks so much. We will hit you again.
We're pulling
Continued
for ya.
success, sir, on both fronts, the family end and on the
That's right.
show. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Still ahead tonight, calling out the
Myers Furniture.
New tonight, Republicans in Congress continue to criticize President Biden's new executive order limiting the number of migrants crossing into our country across the southern border. He said at the time Republicans wouldn't work with him and that executive action was his last resort. Joining us now with reaction, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, good to see you. Thank you for doing this.
Sure. Happy to join you. Thanks, Scott.
Now, I know you've been to the border a great deal. Your reaction when you heard the president say what he did about his new executive order?
Yes, he has spent all this time telling us Congress needed to pass something, and we've said all along, you took 94 executive actions in your first 100 days to open the border. If you want to address this rush at the southern border, you have the authority to do that. Now, what he has chosen to do is a measure that is really too little, too late, and it does not get to the point of securing the southern border, which is what people want to see.
Now, my question is, you didn't bring it up, I did. The timing's got a presidential campaign going on. To your point, this could have been done at any point in the last 3.5 years.
That's exactly right. And as I said, 94 executive actions to open the border and then to weaken immigration law, and then turning around and saying, I can't do anything until Congress passes something, and having a Homeland Security Secretary who has continued to say the border is closed when everyone could see that it was not. And you know, Scott, the thing is, and the reason this is not resonating with people is because people are living this disaster of an open border with the fentanyl deaths, the gangs that are in many of our Tennessee communities, crime that is up across our state, the human trafficking, the sex trafficking. Every town's a border town, every state a border state because of these issues.
Now, you mentioned some of the crimes that have been committed by migrants that are coming into the country. We had a case here in Nashville just last month. A woman is in an ice cream shop, I believe it was, down in the Gulch, yes, and an illegal migrant attacks her there. Have you learned anything new about Nelson Giovanni Ortiz Ramirez and how he got into the country?
We have not learned anything new about the attacker, and we have been in contact with, I've written DHS, and I've asked for further information, and we have not been given that. We would like to know when he did come into the country, and what is his status? Was he seeking asylum? Was he granted parole? You know, this parole status that this administration has given to some asylum seekers, these are the 350,000 that they have flown from their countries into the U.S. That parole status gives them work permits. It gives them benefits. And of course, you've got 10 million people that have illegally entered the country on Joe Biden's watch. That is more people than the population of 38 of our states.
And one final question. Tell me about your efforts to create a women's suffrage monument in honor of the 19th Amendment.
Oh, yes, indeed. And this week we have celebrated 105 years since the Senate took their action on the 19th Amendment and then sent it to the states for ratification. As all of your viewers know, Tennessee played a pivotal role. We were the 36th state. And because of this, some of us, women of the Senate, have worked for years to get a monument. Out of the 40 monuments that are on the National Mall, not one honors the suffragist who worked for decades to secure the right to vote for women.
Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn, thank you so much for being with us and taking the time.
You got it.
Well, it's that time of year where lightning can suddenly bring any outdoor activity to an end. quickly. Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Brett Luna shows us how lightning develops and maybe some facts you didn't know before.
Obviously, the first thing that we need is a storm has to develop, and then the ice particles and water droplets in the cloud, those collide, and then these collisions lead to positive and negative charges in the cloud. At the top of the cloud, you get the positive charges, and at the bottom of the cloud, you get the negative charges. Normally, the ground has a slight negative charge, but when a thunderstorm is directly overhead, this causes the ground beneath it to become positively charged. When the energy from the negative charge at the bottom of the cloud meets the leader from the positive charge at the ground, it connects, and that's what creates that flash of light. These are negative strikes. You can also get positive strikes too, though. Positive strikes can occur from the storm anvil, and these usually are the most deadly strikes. Interesting facts about lightning: since 1959, Tennessee is ranked in the top 10 for lightning deaths. Lightning can also heat the air to 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun, so that's equivalent to 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And for any of y'all that have been to any sort of football game or concert over at Nissan Stadium while it was storming, Nissan Stadium's policy for lightning is if lightning strikes within 8 miles of Nissan Stadium, everyone has to shelter in place. And then after 30 minutes with no lightning within an 8
make it happen.
In sports, the Titans were back on the practice field today, day 2 of minicamp, and one thing that has stuck out so far this week, just in these 2 days, the energy on defense.
Well, Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick has more on the Titans' new defensive coordinator and how he sets the tone for the unit.
One of the biggest storylines coming out of the Titans offseason is the tone that defensive coordinator Denard Wilson is setting on defense. The first-year coordinator brings a completely new identity to this Titans unit, and his more aggressive, energetic approach is something that has players telling us they want to run through a wall for Coach Wilson. Another big difference with the defense this year is the press coverage. Titans rarely pressed last year on defense, and that certainly won't be the case this season. Coach Wilson saying that they practice press coverage every single day, and it will be something that is ingrained into their revamped identity.
It's all about mindset, and it's about the mindset and what you preach on a daily basis. But on the flip side, these guys make me want to run through a wall too. They're energetic, man. They come in here every day wanting to work, want to get better. They smart. They're very smart. They grasp a lot of information on a short amount of time. So it's give and take. You know, they want to run through a wall for me, and I'll do the same thing for them.
Well, I mean, honestly, the first meeting we had him, I told him, like, you had me ready to run through a wall. But it's about he's very hard on us, but he also lets you know when you're doing stuff right, and I think that's the biggest thing for me.
We're all excited up front, you know, to have him come in and running with his scheme and the players in the back end and everything. You know, it could be like, this could be an awesome year.
This week at minicamp was the very first time we got to see the offense go up against the defense. And even though there are no pads at this point, both Coach Callahan and Coach Wilson said they liked what they saw from their units. Specifically, they really loved the energy, the aggressiveness on both sides, and also the communication. All things that they can build on as they start to get ready for training camp at the end of July. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
Coming up, we'll have more on your CMA forecast, including an hour-by-hour look at the weekend when the best chance for rain is expected to arrive.
And debilitated by a stroke that left him unable to walk, talk, or sing like he used to, how country great Randy
News this morning.
11 years after a massive stroke permanently disabled Randy Travis, the country music legend is back on stage and out on tour, selling out shows, all thanks to the help of artificial intelligence. In fact, right at this very moment, Randy Travis is at the Ryman Auditorium, a stop on his More Life tour. He caught up with us before the show.
Given only a 2% chance of survival after suffering a stroke and landing in the hospital with heart problems back in 2013, Randy Travis beat the odds and is sitting down with us, joined by his wife, Mary. The stroke left Randy barely able to walk or talk, but his recovery is better than doctors ever anticipated, and Mary has become his biggest advocate.
Mary, you were quoted as saying that Randy speaks volumes in his silence.
Yeah, he really does. And I think it's
It's the stature of the man he is. It's his presence. I told him since the stroke, I said, honey, I said, you just walk in a room and people applaud, people stand up, people, you know, cry. And I said, just to be anointed like that, to have that gift that God gave you is pretty amazing.
And through the power of artificial intelligence, Randy is getting his voice back, releasing a brand new song using his archived music and a surrogate voice to make all new hits.
When I first heard, I just broke down because I'd been wanting to hear that voice since 2013.
Thank you very much. After his life-changing stroke, Randy Travis has shown so much perseverance and still has that heart of gold smile, launching his More Life tour, making stops across the country.
So many memories. The songs just take you back. How special will it be to be reuniting with all the original band members?
Good. That's like Thanksgiving dinner, really, because it's just family. It's the road family.
Randy and Mary will be up on stage for every show, watching the band perform his greatest hits.
To be able to be out there may be a little different than it used to be, but still being able to be in front of the fans, watch them sing along, watch their reactions. And he always said it was such a beautiful place to be on that stage, exchange energy with the fans. So it feels good to be back on the road.
Well, after tonight's stop in Nashville, Randy Travis heads to Wichita, Kansas Friday, followed by shows in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, kickoff jam in Panama City Beach, and then on to Alabama, Pennsylvania, and Ohio.
Love that. Love me some Randy Travis. Well, we want to know what you think. Tonight, the Fox 17 X poll is asking whether you would attend an AI concert. 435 people weighing in, and not too warm on that. Well, I'm sure they love Randy's new song, and it does sound great with the use of AI. It's him. 93% say no, 6.7% say yes. Our thanks to all who voted tonight. Well, new tonight, details about Hunter Biden's drug use unwrapped in a Delaware courtroom today as the president's son is on trial on charges that he lied on some federal forms to buy a gun.
Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzau has the latest from Dover, where First Lady Jill Biden was in the front row to support her son.
It was another emotional day in a federal courthouse in Delaware. President Joe Biden's only surviving son forced to relive some painful parts of his past. Ex-wife Kathleen Buell testified that she found drugs and paraphernalia in Hunter Biden's car on multiple occasions, including in 2018, but never saw him use drugs. Though another witness, ex-girlfriend Zoe Keston, detailed the many times she saw him smoke crack that he would want to smoke as soon as he woke up. That Hunter Biden was addicted to drugs is not in dispute. Prosecutors Tuesday showed these photos that were allegedly exchanged between he and his dealers, also using Hunter's own words from the audio version of his book Beautiful Things to make that case.
Mainly, however, we just planted ourselves on the couch and smoked a ton of crack. For endless hours, day after day, it was the same numbing ritual, over and over and over.
But central to this case is the question of timing. When filling out this form to purchase a gun, if Hunter Biden knowingly lied about being a user of or addicted to drugs or controlled substances when he answered no.
They've got to show, maybe not the second that he filled out the form, but around the time that he was purchasing this revolver, he was using drugs.
Other expected witnesses include Hallie Biden, the widow of Beau Biden, who Hunter dated after his brother's death, who also is the one who threw the gun he owned for 11 days into a trash can, where it was later found and reported to authorities. We are still waiting to hear who Hunter Biden's defense team may call as witnesses, but top names include his daughter Naomi and his uncle James Biden, who is close with Hunter and helped him navigate rehab as he worked to get sober. In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzau.
Well, once again, big story of the week is going to be CMA Fest, of course, and we've got folks out and about downtown on Broadway the night leading up to the first night on CMA here, and I'm just noticing on our lens, Might be a few raindrops that are there on the camera. It looks like the streets are a little wet. We do have some showers that are pushing in here with the latest scan coming in from radar. So most of this rain south of downtown, although you can see the one little shower there, but more of those pockets of showers moving through Brentwood over towards Bellevue and Antioch. And we'll zoom out a little more and you can see more showers here to our south and a couple more to the north and to the west. Good news is none of these will be severe, so we're not concerned with that. But we'll continue, I'd say, for another few hours to see some rain showers around and will be with us at least through about midnight or just after that. The good news is we're drying out. Here again is a look at the forecast for the next couple of days. A little warm tomorrow, but very pleasant for Friday. And then looking at a chance for showers and storms Saturday and for Sunday. Now, something that would be troublesome for especially the concerts at night would be the potential for lightning. The good news is no storms expected for Friday, so we are green light there. As far as our lightning potential goes for Saturday, I would say the evening concerts have the best chance of seeing lightning for Saturday. And then Sunday, the potential for a stray shower in the early part of the afternoon. I think we could even lower this chance here. I think the majority of rain should be out of here by Sunday morning. But Saturday would be the yellow light day that I'm looking at for rain. So let's walk you through Saturday's forecast. We'll start in the morning, and you can see as we head towards mid-morning, late afternoon, that we are going to find some showers around. Most of these should be just that. I don't even think we should be looking at too many thunderstorms until we get later in the evening. This is 4 p.m., scattered showers around. And then as we head through Saturday night, we'll start to see showers enter in from the north and from the west. 8 o'clock here, looking at rain to arrive, and looks like a lot of the rain, or the bulk of the rain, may stay to our south and to our west of downtown Nashville. But this would be where we're looking at some thunderstorms rolling through very early Sunday morning. So as we get into Sunday morning, you can see a lot of the rain is to our south at this point. And then we take you through the later part of the morning hours here. This is one of our longer range models, so it has it slowed down a little bit more through Sunday morning. But again, most of that rain continues to dry out as we head through the afternoon. So the big concern for any rain this weekend, it looks to be mainly Saturday afternoon, a chance of storms as we head through Saturday night, early Sunday, and then we should dry out. So the rain for Sunday should mainly be in the morning. We do dry out, and we're staying cool too for next week. Temperatures only in the low 80s.
Thank you, Katie. Just ahead, Metro Health flagging the year's first local injury law. Fox 17 News health alert tonight as the Metro Health Department flags a pool of mosquito. I've been teasing and saying mosquitoes. Mosquitoes infected with the West Nile virus in Rayon City off of Old Hickory Boulevard. If you don't know where that is, here's downtown, obviously. Interstate 65. This is State Route 45. Old Hickory Boulevard, Madison, of course, on both sides of the road. When you cross the Cumberland River, that's Rayon City right there on the left, right sort of behind that golf course that some of you may be familiar with. And that's where the pool of mosquitoes was found. This, by the way, the very first case of mosquito infected with the West Nile virus in Nashville this year.
With a rise in thefts at discount stores, some workers will now have an extra eye on you. The parent company of TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods is equipping employees with body cameras to deter theft. The cameras are worn by loss prevention associates. TJ Maxx says that the footage is only shared upon request by law enforcement or in response to a subpoena. The company had more than $112 billion in losses in 2022 due to stolen merchandise.
Not what you deserve.
Well, take a look at this. A Middle Tennessean launches into outer space.
Mount Juliet native Butch Wilmore, one of 2 astronauts on board Boeing's Starliner, bound for the International Space Station. Wilmore and fellow astronaut Suni Williams expected to dock at the space station before noon tomorrow. They will spend 8 days in space before returning home.
This is Fox 17 News at 10, your Code Red station.
We begin with breaking news as Bellevue residents attend a candlelight vigil for a teenager shot and killed at a popular neighborhood park.
Well, tonight, the victim's 16-year-old sister, who was also shot, is speaking out about the tragedy. A cross now sits in front of the red caboose in remembrance of 13-year-old Aiden Hayes, where hundreds of community members are coming together to honor the teen who lost his life there 1 week ago tonight. Police say Hayes was shot after a fight escalated in the parking lot. His 16-year-old sister stood alongside her parents and other loved ones tonight to remember her brother, through tears crediting him for saving her life.
I think about that day, every night before I go to sleep. And it's hard. It's hard, bro. It's hard. And I'm trying to do this for him, because I know this is what he would want me to do. And I'm trying to live for him and keep his name. Yes. So everybody knows that he died for a purpose. Yes.
Well, tonight the teen's mother spoke about her son, saying Aiden was his sister's keeper. State Representative Bo Mitchell and Metro Councilwoman Zulfat Suara showing their support in attendance at that vigil tonight. A 15-year-old has been charged in connection with that shooting.
We're letting people just roll right through the system and just make it up as they come in.
In Operation Crime and Justice, another case of a violent offender charged again while free on bond. Last week, a man awaiting trial for domestic violence is arrested again for beating a woman, setting her business on fire, and then stealing her car. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller now live at the state capitol with more on the low bond issue that lawmakers have been trying to address.
Yes, well, we spoke with State Representative Vincent Dixie, who says that Tennessee needs both bail reform and criminal justice reform in order to keep law-abiding people safe. Now, Parde Gooch was arrested last week for a robbery at a clothing store in South Nashville. Police confirm he was free on bond for a domestic violence arrest. Gooch was also arrested in May for violating an order of protection. His record includes an aggravated robbery conviction in 2016. Community advocate Lou Wilbanks is disappointed but not surprised.
If we are not taking care of our safety and making sure people who are arrested are deterred from doing it again, then what is the purpose of a police officer going out there and arresting them?
The Metro District Attorney's Office says that they file the charges, but judges and magistrates set bond. Now, a handful of new laws will go into effect starting July 1st that do address this low bond issue, and one of them requires people who are deemed incompetent to get the proper recovery for that and treatment. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Caitlin Miller, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
You can't accuse people like she did without consequences.
Continuing coverage, a Gallatin councilman is responding to bullying allegations after his former colleague claims that she was harassed, leading to her resignation. Last night, Fox 17 News told you about Aline George's sudden leave. Walked away from the job. She claims that Councilman Pascal Jovens and his supporters abused her with nasty comments via social media, text messages, and phone calls, along with physical confrontations. These claims are backed up by Gallatin Mayor Paige Brown, but Jovens says it's all bogus.
I don't believe Councilwoman George's claims are untrue. I've witnessed some of it myself, and I've seen evidence of other poor action.
She says she has voicemail, text messaging, phone call, emails. If she has any proof of that, please bring it and show me where I bullied her.
And now a seat remains empty on the council. Brown says that Georgia's seat was up for election in November and that it will remain on the ballot. But the council will likely appoint someone to fill that seat in the interim here in the coming weeks.
Looking ahead, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn is headed to France as part of a delegation honoring our veterans on the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Our Navy's code name for that mission, Operation Neptune, the largest seaborne invasion in world history, with thousands of our troops storming the beaches in France there. Thousands were killed by German artillery raining down from the cliffs above, but our troops did take that beach and used that foothold to liberate France and all of Europe from the Germans.
And we will be on the ground there in Normandy. We will have the opportunity to visit with veterans and some of their families. And we are so looking forward to recognizing the service and the sacrifice of the men and women who have chosen to serve our nation.
Senator Blackburn and other members of the U.S. delegation will arrive in Normandy tomorrow to attend a ceremony at the American Cemetery.
Just in the past 30 minutes or so, starting to see some raindrops on the Broadway camera. And now we've got rain falling in downtown Nashville. Streets definitely showing some of the raindrops there. And we'll continue to see some of these showers for another couple of hours. This is a look at a loop over the past hour, and you can see the bottom of your screen there. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning in portions of Lincoln County. That has since expired, and these storms won't be severe here. They are falling apart as far as any strength they might have had. But we do continue to see some of these showers move through the downtown area and through much of Davidson County, and then off to our north and west. We've got a few more showers getting ready to push through the Clarksville area, Fort Campbell as well. A couple heavy pockets of rain likely with some of these storms here. A couple more to our south in Bedford County, Moore County, and into Franklin County too. So we'll see again showers for a couple of hours. Not concerned with anything severe at this point here, as again we can see more of the rain moving through Alabama this evening. Radar future track, I should say, will continue to show these clear out as we head through the overnight, leaving us with a pretty nice setup as we head into Thursday. We are looking at temperatures to stay on the warm side for the day on Thursday, and even in the morning hours, lows in those mid to upper 60s. We'll talk more about the big weekend ahead coming up in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast. Well, new tonight, the medical examiner rules the cause of death for a 26-year-old who died following a fight with a bouncer outside of a downtown bar as homicide. Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse, who's covered this story from the beginning, has more on these brand new findings.
It's important to note this determination by the medical examiner does not mean homicide charges will follow. Metro Police say former Tin Roof bouncer Richard Cornelius did not allow 26-year-old Austin Turner back into Tin Roof February 18th, leading to a fight. Security video shows Turner getting punched while being escorted out of the bar. The medical examiner's office report says the cause of death is blunt force trauma to the head, and the manner, homicide. Turner's blood alcohol level was about 3 times the legal limit. Megan Turner is Austin's stepmom. She says the family still has questions.
What I do know is the results of the autopsy report are pretty revealing to us in that his injuries were pretty extensive. And as we've seen, the video is 5 seconds long, and we are going to get justice for Austin, and we are going to work for safety downtown so that this doesn't happen to anyone else.
District Attorney Glenn Funk's office says they're reviewing the matter to determine charges to be presented to the grand jury. Beyond that, they cannot comment. For more coverage on this, head over to our website at fox17.com. In studio, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
School's out for the summer, and thousands of children in our state and across the country who get their meals at school may need your help.
And as Fox 17 News' Angela Brown explains, our parent company Sinclair is teaming up with Feeding America for our new initiative, Sinclair Cares Summer Hunger Relief.
The numbers are huge. 22 million children in the U.S. rely on schools for their meals that could go away this summer. Sinclair Cares Summer Hunger Relief campaign is teaming up with Feeding America to feed children this summer. Working mom Jenny Murphy stretching every dollar to feed her kids.
Sometimes we would have to buy the cheaper, less healthier food items from the store,
and having like 1 or 2 meals compared to 3 per day.
In tough times, relying on community support to get by.
I've had to use the food pantries, like blessing boxes.
Feeding America says 13 million children in the U.S. face hunger.
Food insecurity becomes even more dire in the summer months because school is out of session, and so those school lunches and breakfasts just aren't available.
Feeding America is teaming up with Sinclair Care's Summer Hunger Relief Campaign. The goal? Ambitious. Providing 1 million meals to children and families this summer.
Donations from viewers will be directed right back to food banks and local communities to help support children and families facing hunger.
The cost of a cup of coffee could pay for several meals.
$1 can help provide at least 10 meals through the Feeding America network.
Donations that will help organizations like the Maryland Food Bank that provided roughly 41 million meals last year.
A lot of strain on families over the course of the summer. And again, this is more exacerbated this year in particular because of the fact that the effect of inflation, food costs have just been so high.
In 2022, our Sinclair Care's partnership with Feeding America resulted in nearly 2 million meals for children in our local markets. I'm Angela Brown in Washington, D.C.
To donate to the Sinclair Care Summer Hunger Relief Campaign, just scan the QR code there on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, or you can go to sinclaircares.com.
I'm Jeff Harrison, Washington. American
Insurance.
Covering the economy, some U.S. families may be forced to choose between air conditioning and food this summer. According to a new report, households could see an 8% increase in utility costs.
Fox 17 News' Jeff Harris tonight to show us which areas will be most affected.
These price hikes are going to impact people across the entire country. From Florida to Texas, bills will be higher, but people with fixed or low incomes will likely be affected the most. Kirsten Kissinger is a single mother of 3 living in Pennsylvania. And last June, she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I have spent the last year going through 3 surgeries.
Kirsten tells us she isn't eligible for short-term disability. So when she's getting treatment, the paychecks stop, but the bills keep coming.
Then I get a bill for almost $400. I'm thinking, where's that going to come from?
Having not worked for the better part of a year, Kirsten says sometimes she's forced to turn off or adjust the AC.
So we'll just sweat.
Paul Bledsoe, an adjunct professor at American University, tells us rising utility costs are forcing Americans to make tough decisions.
Millions of Americans are having to choose between air conditioning and food.
According to the Public Citizens Energy Program, electricity costs are going up because of fuel prices and transmission costs, with low-income households being impacted the most.
Lower income Americans pay 10% of all of their money for electricity costs.
Bledsoe says for things to change, Congress needs to fund several assistance programs to help people stay cool and offset the cost.
They're choosing between food and electricity and air conditioning.
A decision Kirsten says she doesn't want to have to make.
People can't live like this.
According to the Associated Press, last year was Earth's hottest one on record, and in the U.S. alone, about 11,000 people are estimated to have died of heat exposure. I'm Jeff Harris reporting from Washington.
Well, earlier in our newscast, we told you about our X poll asking the question, would you go to an artificial intelligence concert? And here are the poll results. 442 people weighing in. 93.4% say no, 6.6% say yes. Each night, look for a new poll on our X page that you can participate in.
We've had some rain out there this evening, and the good news is it will begin to clear out as we head more into tomorrow morning. The sunshine will be back. Temperatures will be a little on the warm side, but at least the storms and the rain chances will be gone for a couple of days. So first few days of CMA Fest are looking good. So nice for Thursday and Friday, a little on the warm side for Thursday, and for Friday, temperatures only in the low 80s. I have made some forecast changes though for The weekend, it does include now some showers and thunderstorms. CMA Fest right now looking at highs in the upper 80s for Thursday, low 80s as we head through Friday. And Saturday and Sunday, we'll see a chance for rain, but it won't be raining all day. So for Saturday in the morning, we are dry. Midday, I would say a small chance for a shower or two. Generally not expecting thunderstorms. That chance comes a little later in the evening hours. I think our best chance for storms will come late Saturday night into early Sunday. The majority of Sunday is also looking dry with just a stray shower for the early part of the afternoon. And then we're drying out for the rest of the day. So the good news is it's not going to be a washout, but we will have some times over the weekend where we have to dodge some showers. Through Thursday around 11 a.m. you can see most of the showers are clearing out. We're left with, you can see here, clear skies going into Friday. A northwesterly flow too, indicating that temperatures will be a little cooler, only in the low 80s for the day. All eyes, though, will be focused on this little batch of showers that'll be pushing in as we head towards Saturday afternoon. Again, scattered in the afternoon, better chance moving in as we head towards the evening hours. So those showers are around now. A few rumbles of thunder can't be ruled out, but generally as we head through the overnight, we will begin to clear out. Temperatures, though, stay on the mild side as we head through the early morning hours. We continue to clear out as we head through Thursday, our temperature topping off right around 88 degrees. And the 7-day forecast, again, not looking too bad here. So of the 4 days for concerts downtown and the ones at Nissan Stadium, I would say Saturday night would be the most likely storm, or the most likely night that we would see thunderstorms around, if we were to see some at all. We may miss them altogether, may come in after the concert's over, but that would be the timing that I think we have the best chance of seeing a few. Sunday, by the evening hours, the rain should be clearing out, and we're left with a pretty nice forecast going into next week. I might add, too, that temperatures stay below average for this time of year, only in the low 80s Monday and Tuesday, upper 70s possible for Wednesday. For
Mid-10 Furniture.
In sports, the Titans back on the field today at minicamp, and one thing that has stuck out so far this week, they've had 2 practices, the energy on defense.
Well, Fox 17 sports director Jill Jelnick has more on the Titans' new defensive coordinator and how he sets the tone for his unit.
One of the biggest storylines coming out of the Titans offseason is the tone that defensive coordinator Denard Wilson is setting on defense. The first-year coordinator brings a completely new identity to this Titans unit, and his more aggressive, energetic approach is something that has players telling us they want to run through a wall for Coach Wilson. Another big difference with the defense this year is the press coverage. Titans rarely pressed last year on defense, and that certainly won't be the case this season. Coach Wilson saying that they practice press coverage every single day, and it will be something that is ingrained into their revamped identity.
It's all about mindset, and it's about the mindset and what you preach on a daily basis. But on the flip side, these guys make me want to run through a wall too. They're energetic, man. They come in here every day wanting to work, want to get better. They smart. They're very smart. They grasp a lot of information on a short amount of time. So it's give and take. You know, they want to run through a wall for me, and I'll do the same thing for them.
I mean, honestly, the first meeting we had him, I told him, like, you had me ready to run through a wall. But it's about he's very hard on us, but he also lets you know when you're doing stuff right, and I think that's the biggest thing for me.
We're all excited up front, to have him come in and running with his scheme and the players in the back end and everything. It could be like, this could be an awesome year.
This week at minicamp was the very first time we got to see the offense go up against the defense. And even though there are no pads at this point, both Coach Callahan and Coach Wilson said they liked what they saw from their units. Specifically, they really loved the energy, the aggressiveness on both sides, and also the communication, all things that they can build on as they start to get ready for training camp at the end of July. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
So from the outside, it's actually designed to look like an ordinary watch, but what's inside it could make a huge difference in addiction recovery and saving lives. I'm Liz Bonus. We'll share that difference just ahead.
Who lost his son to addiction is working on developing a medical device to help save other lives.
Fox 17 News medical reporter Liz Bonus shows us how it works.
Hey there, everybody. From the outside, it is designed to look like an ordinary watch. But after losing his son to an accidental overdose, one dad designed this with hopes it will help with addiction recovery.
He was my world.
Zachary Ernest Muth is the son of Steve Muth, who told me one night when Zach was just 23 years old, he apparently took a pill laced with fentanyl.
I wish I could have that night over.
Zach never woke up, and Steve's world was shattered.
When you lose something that is that important, it's like an overwhelming anxiety of pain.
But to keep his memory alive, Steve started Zem Life.
Each day, you still remember, and that's what Zem's about.
The company is now continuing the next steps for medical approval of a wristwatch. This is just a prototype.
You can see that the cartridges slip out. There's 2 cartridges.
But Dr. Joanna Sawyer, an anesthesiologist on the board of Zem Life, told me it's designed to be programmed to sense a medical need, in this case, a potential drug overdose.
And then send out a 911 signal and a GPS locator signal to call for help at the same time that it injects Narcan.
It does have larger implications.
The way that we conceived this is a cartridge-based system where you could put anything in it. You could put epinephrine in it for heart attacks or cardiac arrest situations or for anaphylaxis.
Well, they are still months away from getting the watch to market.
By each step closer that we get to saving lives, it somehow brings a little comfort.
And not just comfort, Steve says, but purpose, that Zach's story will continue to help others. With your health news, I'm Liz Bonus reporting.
All right, take a look at this. Visitors out at the Nashville Zoo get an opportunity to catch a glimpse and a whiff of an endangered tropical plant known as the corpse flower. This is a live look.
Oh man, this thing's getting a whole lot of attention. I don't know why, because word on the street is it doesn't smell too great. This it's set to bloom any day now.
And it's not even in bloom.
Yeah, I know. It's like that giraffe cam, remember? Right. We were just waiting and watching nothing forever. Yeah, April, you remember? Yeah. So this is a plant from Indonesia, and its pungent odor is comparable to rotting flesh.
And it only blooms apparently every 7 to 10 years, kind of like comes